suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find muck without you. You're stuck up.
Hello guys, ඉතින් KCD එකේ කියන්නේ KCD 2 එකේ අපි කලින් main quest එකෙන් පස්සේ අපිට දැන් තියෙන quest එක තමයි wedding crashers කියන එක. ඉතින් ඒක අපිට දීලා තියෙනවා objective main objective විදියට find a way to get into the wedding party. wedding party එක යන ක්‍රමයක් වගන එක කියන්නේ. ඉතින් අපිට දෙකක් දීලා තියෙනවා optional විදියට get into the wedding party with the help of the blacksmith radar van. ඒක optional එකක්. ඒ වගේම අනිත් එක gain access to the wedding party with the help of the miller crucial කියන එක නගේ. ඉතින් මේ දෙන්නගේ උදව් ගන්න පුළුවන් දන්නේ අපි බලමු. අපි map එකෙන් අපි බලමු. map එකෙන් wow. map එකෙන් මේ දෙන්නම ඉන්නේ මාර සෑහෙන දුර. ඉතින් අපි ළඟම එක මේ බී අකුරෙන් තියෙන යමු නේද? get into the wedding party with the help of the blacksmith radar van කියන එක යන ගාවට. අපි එතනට යමු එහෙනම්. යටින් තව side quest එකක් තියෙනවා මට. අපි අපේ බලු පැටිය හොයාගන්න එක. පැටියෙක් මේ තඩියෙක් ඔක. මේ කොහමරි ඌ හොයාගන්න එක. ඉතින් මම ඒක මේ quest එකට කවරම් කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ quest එක side quest එකකින් දෙක වෙනම මම කරන්නම්. අපි නම් යමු දැන් මේ wedding crashers කියන එක කරන්න. බල්ලව හොයාගෙන වැඩේ කරන්න තිබ්බනම් හොඳයි. මොකද ඌ අපිට support කරනවා. දැනට අපි කමක් නැහැ ඉදිරියට ගමු. අපිට කතා කරලා මේත් එක මම දැන් කතා කරන්න යන්නේ මොකද එතකොට ඔය වගේ NPCලාත් එක්ක කතා කරන්න ගියාට පස්සේ තව side quest වැටෙනවා. ඒතර ඒවා කෙලින්ම active වුණාට පස්සේ මට අපෝ side quest එක කවලම් වෙලා තමයි කරන්න වෙන්නේ. මට තාම අශ්වයෙක් කවුරුත් නැහැ. මොකද මම හිඟන්නේ ගානටම වැටලා තියෙන්නේ මේ ගේම් එකේ. ඉතින් අපිට පයින් තමයි යන්න වෙන්නේ. මම way point එකක් දාගන්න මෙතනට. හරි. දැන් කඩානේ බෙදගෙන යන්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ කොහොම හරි. අප්පට මට කිසි බොඩි එකක්වත් නැහැ මොකක්වත් නැහැ ඇඩේ කියන්නේ. වව් අපිට දැන් තමයි වනයේ අසිරිය විඳින්න හැකි වෙන්නේ. කාසල් එක පේනවා අර ඇතින් මාර ලස්සන එක නා. යමු මං කල්ලා දුවගෙන යමු. මේ මොනවද මේ තිරිඟුද වීදියනේ දැන් මම හිතන්නේ මේ තිරිඟු නේද? ඔය තිරිඟු තමයි. ඉස්සරහට මේ හැම જાති මේ සේජ් නෑ මේ ත්‍රිස්ල් මේවා කලින් ගේම් එකේ තිබ්බා මේ ඩැන්ඩේලියන්. මේ මේව කලෙක්ට් කරන්න බෑ මොකක් හරි වෙන මල් පැලැටියක් එන්නේදී. කොහොමරි ඔය හැම જાතියෙම දෙක තුනක් තියාගෙන ඉන්න එකත් හොඳයි. මොකද දන්නවද අපි තාම නම් බැරුවද මොකද අපේ ඉන්වෙන්ටරි එක තාම එහෙම ලොකු මේකක් නැහැ. ඉතින් අපිට ලොකු බර අරගෙන යන්න බෑ එමුනම. ඉන්වෙන්ටරි එක පොඩ්ඩක් හදාගත්තට පස්සේ හැම જાතියෙම මල් දෙක තුනක් තියාගෙන ඉන්න එක හොඳයි. මොකද අපිට සමහර පොෂන්ස් හදද්දි වැදගත් වෙනවා. නැත්නම් අපි පොෂන් හදන්න ඒ අදාළ ඒවා හොයන්න ගියම කාරණේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඉතින් අපිට මේ ඔය ඒ පොෂන්ස් විකුණන කට්ටිය ඉන්න ඒගොල්ලෝ ගෑන් ගිහිල්ලා සල්ලි දීලා තමයි ගන්න වෙන්නේ. වව් අර කාසල් එක මාර ලස්සනයක්. අශ්වයෙක් හොයාගත්ත පස්සේ නිකන් එක්ස්ප්ලෝර් කරනවා. මේ එක්ස්ප්ලෝර් කරලා බලනවා අතර වටින් මොනවා වගේ තියෙන ප්ලේස් කියලා. දැන් මට තියෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ ඕක නෙමෙයි. මට තියෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ මේ කොහේ හරි බෑන්ඩිට්ස්ලා හැංගිලා ඉන්නවද කියලා. මොකද මට ආයුධයක්වත් නැහැ. බලමු මගේ ඉන්වෙන්ටරි අන්ටින් සෝඩ් එක ගන්න තියෙනවා. මම ඒක ඉක්විප් කරගන්නවා. මේක මට පොඩි ඇඳුම් කට්ටලක් තියෙනවා නේද? මේ ටික අද ගන්න. හරි ඔය ටික තියෙනවා. අපි ඔය ටික අරගෙන යන්න. අශ්වයෙක් හිටියන මේ ටික මම මාරික්මන්ට යම මොන කරන්න දෙයි. හරි පොඩි ගොවිපලකටද කොහෙද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? You discovered Tachou. යකවුද ටැචවුද දන්නේ. හරි ෆාස්ට් ට්‍රැවල් කරන්න පුළුවන් අපිට ඉස්සරහට ආයේ මෙහෙට පයින් දුවන් එන්න ඕනේ. ඒක ලොකු දෙයක්. මොකද අශ්වයෙක්වත් නැහැ මට තාම. කොහේද අපිට දැන් හම්බෙන්නේ කියලා තියෙන්නේ Radman's wife. අපි Radman කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ blacksmith කෙනෙක් නේ. යාම මේ අපි මෙයාගෙන් අහලා බලමු කොහෙද ඉන්නේ කියලා. උලන්ද කතා කරන්නේ නැත්තේ. අපිට විනාඩියක් කතා කරලා මිස් ඔයා එක්ක. බෑල්. මේ blacksmith වැඩවැන්. අපි chat එකක් දාලා බලමු එහෙනම්. මට කතා කරන්න බැරිද? අපි කතා කරමු talk.
What'll it be this fine morning?
අපි ආවේ I'm here about the job. අපි job එකට ආවේ මෙතනට.
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. What do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semine. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
අපේ තාත්තා කලින් ගේම් එකේ ස්වර්ඩ්ස්මිත් කියන බ්ලැක්ස්මිත් කෙනෙක් නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ආයුධ හදන පොරක් නේ. ඉතින් කොහොම හරි අපි හැදෙච්ච ඒ වගේ තැනක හැබැයි මූණ මෙලොවත් තිලවක් දැනන් හිටියේ නෑ පඬිතේ වගේ. I change my නෑ අපි පටන් ගමු කමක් නෑ පුරුදු වෙන්නත් එක්ක.
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge.
යකඩටියක් හොයාගන්න කියලා කිව්වා. Prove yourself to the
Go over to the
blacksmith.
anvil and let's get started. I'm sorry.
හරි මම ජර්නල් එක පොඩ්ඩක් බලනවා. දැන් මේක මේ වෙඩින් ක්‍රෑෂර්ස් එක ඇතුළට තමයි the blacksmith son කියන එක වැටලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක සයිඩ් ක්වෙස්ට් එකක් විදිහට අපි prove yourself to the blacksmith. Find materials for forging. හරි අපි materials ටිකක් හොයාගමු. ඔය දෙක තියෙනවා කිව්වේ. ගේ ඇතුලේ දන්නේ නැති ඉන්න හිතන. හරි ඇතුලේනේ. ඕ අපිට ඇතුලට යන්න බැරිද?
Go over to the anvil and let's get started.
යකඩ කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ? ජර්නල් පොඩක් මේකෙත් තියෙනවා මේකේද කොහෙද? scrap metal. අපි මේ සේරෝන් ටික ගත්තොත් හොරකම් කරා වේද? transfer all item. හරි. අපි find materials for forging අපි ඒක හරි. Let's start forging. බලමු එහෙනම් කරලා start. Hunting sword. Craft.
Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up bit by bit. Try poking it around for a bit.
අපි මේ විදිහට මේක රත් කරගන්න ඕනේ. Move the blade around the furnace.
Nice and hot. There's a lever above you.
Blow. අපි දැන් මේක රත් කරගන්න ඕනේ.
Bellows.
මේක අපි උණු කරගන්න ඕනේ. Holding Q. මේ විදිහට හොඳට මේක රත් කරලා උණු කරලා ගන්න ඕනේ.
Tell the temperature by the color, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out.
අපි ඉන්ස්පෙක්ට් කරන්න ඕනේ මේකෙන් බලමු.
See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now.
හරි
Come
හොඳට.
over to the anvil.
හරි අපි anvil කියන එකට අරන් යමු මේ
Try
කඩුව.
moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it.
හරි දැන් ඉතින් තරම් තමයි ඇත්තේ. You can move the piece back and forth on the anvil using
Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times.
හරි hold down to rest. Hold down. මේ විදිහට ගහන්න තමයි දැන් තියෙන්නේ.
See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more.
ස්පාකල් කියන්නේ කියන්නේ ගිනි පුපුර විසික් කරනවා කියන්නේ අපි ඒවා විසික්ෙන්නේ නැති වෙනකම් කරන්න ඕනේ. තව එකපාරක් ගෙවුවම ඒ විසික්ෙන්නේ. ඒ හින්දා එතනට ඕම ඉන්නේ. මෙතන විසික් කරන ඉතින් මෙතන ගහන්න ඕනේ තව හොඳට.
Any dog could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other.
So
what then? If you can't handle it, I'll have you make nails instead. Henry, focus. Give it a try. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side.
Rotate the workpiece. මේක අනිත් පැත්තට හරවන්න ඇත්තේ. හරි දැන් මේ පැත්තට ගහන්න ඕනේ තියෙනවා. පටන්ගො මේ හරියද?
Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway.
The closer you are to completion, the closer the shape of the piece resembles what you are forging.
Everything's there. Nothing's missing.
හොඳට යකඩේ නිවෙනකම්ම ගහන්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ.
It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before.
අර අපිට තව පාරක් මේක ගිනි තියා ගන්න ඕනද ඔය? මේ අපි තව පාරක් රත් කරගමු එන. හරි අපි ආපහු ඇන්විල් කියන එකට තියාගමු. දැන් I think ගහ ගන්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ හොඳට.
Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. The sparks are flying nicely. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. That's some nice whistling. Well struck. That's the ring you want. There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it.
හදලා ඉවරයි මං හිතන්නේ.
The sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
Finish. After you finishing forging your sword, you must still temper it with E. Oh. හරි අපි ස්මිතින් සක්සස්ෆුල් hunting sword අපි එකක් හැදුවා ඔන්න
Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What's the whistling for? අපි ඒක අහමු මොකද්ද මේ යා විසිල් ගන්න හේතුව කියලා.
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
කියන්නේ රිද්ම් එකක් තියෙනවනේ විසිල් එක ගාලා සමින් අපි වැඩක් කරද්දී ඩ්‍රම් සෙට් එකක් කියව නිකන් ඒ වගේ නිකන් ඒ වගේ තමයි. How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up, and by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
How should I heat it up properly?
What's the right way to heat up the workpiece?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. Ideally, the color should be the same everywhere if your forging's going to be even. The main thing is, don't work it cold. You just ruin it. But don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks start to fly off it in the furnace, take it out.
අය කියන්නේ අපි ඒක ගින්නට දාලා වැඩි වෙලා රත් කරන්න හොදත් නෑ. අපි ඒක අර මිටියෙන් කොටද්දි, ඒ කියන්නේ මිටියෙන් ගහලා මේව කරද්දි කූල් වෙන්න, ඒ කියන්නේ නිවෙන්න දෙන්න හොදත් නෑ. අපි ඊට කලින් තව පාරක් රත් කරලා ගන්න ඕනේ. Why forge evenly?
Why should I forge evenly?
If you keep hammering the same spot, you'll never finish it. You'll just fuck it up. But jumping from one end to the other ain't a good idea neither. You'd end up working unevenly. The best thing to do is aim each strike next to the one before.
When is the workpiece finished?
How will I know it's finished?
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape it will have.
That's all I need to know.
Thanks. That's all I need to know.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime you want. Any questions?
Where can I get materials? අපිට හදිසියෙ කඩුවක් හදන්නොත් එහෙම අපි අදාළ කළමනාකරණ ඒ කියන්නේ ingredients materials. ඒ වගේ දේවල් හොයාගන්න කොහෙන්ද කියලා ingredients නේ materials. ඒක හොයාගන්න කොහොමද කියලා අපි අහමු.
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. They can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I forged?
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them. Though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
අපි හදපු ඒවා කොහෙද විකුණන්නේ කියලා අහන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයාට විකුණන්න පුළුවන් හොඳ දෙයක් ආවොත් අනිත් ඒවා ඉතින් ගන්න කට්ටිය ඉඳීද දන්නේ. Where exactly can I sleep? මම නිදා ගන්න අත්‍තරම කොහෙද කියලා මුගේ
Where
දැන්
exactly is
කිව්වේ.
my bed?
At the side of the house, there are 2 doors and a wheelbarrow between them. You go in by the rear door, next to the woodshed, and you can put your things in the chest there. Don't worry, nobody will steal them.
What now? දැන් මොකද්ද අපි ඒකත් අහමු.
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right. Here are some simple drawings that show what they're both supposed to look like. And some iron. You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't going to help me?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all bloody day. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able, and then sell it all. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll give you some more interesting work.
හරි you got your own bed අපිට අපිටකින් කියලා අදක් හම්බුණා මෙයා අපිට නවතින්න ඉඩ දුන්නා. අපි වරුන් ජර්නල් එකේ මොනවද අපිට කරන්න තියෙන්නේ කියලා. හරි අර සයිඩ් ක්වෙස්ට් එක අතනින් හරි මොනවද කරන්න තියෙන්නේ? සයිඩ් ක්වෙස්ට් එක ඉතුරුලා තියෙන මඩ් එක විතරයි. get in බලමු මේක අපිට කතා කරලා.
You're up early. What'll it...
tell me about the more interesting job. අපි පොඩ්ඩක් බලමු තව පාරක් මොනවද කරන්න තියෙනවද කියලා. තාම කැමති කරගන්න බැරි වුණානේ.
It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venza and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
උන්ගේ කරත් ගහන්න යන දෝනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අර කොල්ල දෙන්නෙකුත් ඉන්නවා. ඒ දෙන්නත් එක. Which way did they go? මොන පැත්තටද ඒගොල්ලෝ ගියේ?
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Venza and Franzi.
Those two hands of yours, Venza and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
Cargo.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
එතන හොඳ ඩැමේජ් තියෙන ඒ තියෙන වක්‍ර වෙපන් එක මට සේප් එක පන්න ගන්න පුළුවන් හොඳයි. I'll get on it. යමු යන්න එක කරන්න.
I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly.
දෙන්න.
I'll kick some sobriety into them.
විසින් කාට් අපි තාම ගියෙත් නෑනේ. නිත්‍ය මොකද කරන්නේ? අපි ගිහිල්ලා මේ වැඩේ කරලා දෙමු. හරි. ජර්නල් එක අප්ඩේට් කරලා තියෙක බලමු. හරි අප්ඩේට් කරලා තියෙනවා the Jaunt. Head to Semi. කොහෙද දැන් මේ Semin කියන එක තියෙන අපි මැප් එකේ බලමු. අම්මට සිත මාරු දුරක් යන තියෙන දැන්. මම එතන වේ පොයින්ට් එක දාගත්තා. හරි ස්පීඩ් රන් එක තමයි එතනට යන්න හදන්නේ. නැත්නම් වෙලා යන වැඩ. ඔන්න මම යනවා 1 2 3 4. හරි ගයිස් මම Semin කියන පැත්තට කොහෙද ආව මම මැප් එක පොඩ්ඩක් චෙක් කරලා බලනවා. ඕ ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. අපි බලමු මේ ගාඩ් ගෙන් අවසර ගන්න ඕනේ දැන් යන්න.
Stick it away right now.
ඕ sorry.
Good. See? There's no need to be swinging a weapon around here.
sorry අපි දැන් හිතුවේ නෑ එහෙම. අපි ඇත්ත කතා කරනවද?
Get out of my sight.
හරි අපි ඇතුළට ගිහින් බලමු අපිට මොකද කරන්න. ඕ
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You're right there, laddie.
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as late as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Semin is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck where you're from. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yarko, seems to me this fella
doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that.
වලියක් ඇයි වගේ මෙතන එන. මට ආපහු ගහන්න වෙයිද දන්නේ.
Now you're gonna die.
Give that shit fucker a pasting.
Killer! I'm winded.
ගහපන් මට.
Did you do that?
Hey!
Rub his beak in the dirt. To the stop him.
Calm down.
පිසා යටත් වෙමු අපිට කිව්ව විදිහටනේ.
Come on.
මම යටත් වෙන්නේ නැත්නම් බහන දිගට.
Oh, you wee bastard!
the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The tack-off blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
so...
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir.
අපිට යන chance එක හම්බුණා. අපි ගිහලා බලමු එහෙනම්. අපිට අස්සෙක් ලැබෙයිද?
You going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
It sounds dangerous. I'd be glad to අපි ඒක තාම.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No. That's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above. And how are you going to ride with us? On the back of my saddle? You're a bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
I thought you'd let me mount up. යහම අපිට අශ්වය ගන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා.
You've got a stud farm here, don't you? Couldn't I borrow one of your horses?
Aye. And then we'd never see hide nor hair of you, nor the animal again. We don't lend horses. But you're in luck. Our groom brought in a grey nag not long ago. Tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got any more questions.
I have some questions. අපි යහම මොනවද ප්‍රශ්න ටිකක් කියලා.
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about.
I'd like to go to the wedding. Wedding එකට යන්න ආසයි
I'd
කියලා.
like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
I flirt with the girls එකද කෙල්ල එක කතා බහ කරන්න ඕනේ.
I'd eat and drink my fill and check out the local maidens.
I hope Lord Samin didn't hear you. He'd be none too pleased to hear you want to take part in such a grand affair, just to stuff your face and roll an A with some drunken wench.
I beg your pardon, Captain, but that's what most fellas go to weddings for.
That's an unspoken truth, son. Unspoken, mind. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't ya? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
Who is this jerko?
This
අර පල්ලා හිටිය මෝඩයා.
Who are they?
They're Lord Samin's kin. They're fine as long as they don't get too much booze inside them.
Only they're from Moravia, so they're never far from the booze.
But what can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with the family when push comes to shove. And you can't say that about everyone.
Who are you actually? අපි යහම මෙයා ඇත්තටම කවුද
And
කියලා.
you, sir? What is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now, you can't be very bright.
No, I just meant what exactly is it you do for Lord Semin? And your name isn't exactly very common.
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Samin's grandpa gave me. May he rest in peace. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my Nardi club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, win an argument. I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long, we even share the same name.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
We should get going.
I'd
Wait,
like to
who
go and
is?
see that.
Wouldn't we all, lad?
I'd eat and... beg you.
Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't ya? Stick with him.
හරි අපි යහම we should get going. අපි යන හොඳයි නේද කියන එක
We
අපි
should
දෙමු.
probably get going.
My thoughts exactly. Off to the courtyard then.
හරි අපි meet ග්නාලි. ග්නාලි කියන එක්කෙනාව හම්බෙමු අපිට අශ්වයෙක් දෙයිද එයා අපිට?
Excuse me.
අපි ගිහිල්ලා ග්නාලි නම් කියවන්නත් බෑ ඔකෝ. ඉතින් බලමු මැප් එක අරගෙන කොහෙද ඇත්තටම ග්නාලි ඉන්නේ කියලා. එතනද? මේ පැත්තේ ඉන්නේ මම හිතන්නේ. වව්. ඔයාද ග්නාලි කියන්නේ නෑ. මෙයා වෙන්න ඕනේ. එයාත් නෙමෙයිද? මෙයා වෙන්න ඕනේ සර් ජාන් සෙමි. අපි කතා කරලා බලමු. මට අශ්වයෙක් දෙන්නේ නැද්ද? පොඩ්ඩකින් අශ්වයෙක් ඉන්නවද කියලා බලන්නකෝ. අශ්වයෙක් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. යාගේ අපි යමු යන්න යත් එක්ක. Let's
I'm ready
go.
to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
Guys, we can
As you
go
say,
here.
sir.
Follow Lord Semine and Gnali. මේක පයින් යන්න තමයි වෙන්නේ.
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskovitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here.
මේක ඔටෝ දාන්න පුළුවන් යන්න කියලානේ. හරි. එහෙනම් කවන්නේ.
Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this.
බලන් ඉන්න තමයි දැන් ඉතින් තියෙන්නේ යනකම්.
But I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. What? Is that true, Henry?
Make light of it.
With all due respect, sir.
Accept करो මේක.
Be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
හරි අපි ආවා අපි දැන් මොනවද කරන්න තියෙන්නේ? Follow load and semain එක අපි ගලානේ. Talk to Gnarly. මෙයා වෙන්නේ Gnarly කියන්නේ. Gnarly කියන්නේ මොකක් කරේ? තනසුලක් කරන මොකක් කරේ නේ? Sword fight training එකක් දුවේ තියෙන්නේ. Gnarly, මෙයානේ Gnarly කියන්නේ.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Samin. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on a mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
I'm armed. All right. What will you give me?
What would you like?
මම අස long sword වලට එක නේද මෙතන. sword අපි එක දෙමු.
Sword?
Don't get ahead of yourself, laddie. A sword belongs in noble hands. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks and get your arse into the pen.
ඒ sword ඒ කාලේ කියන කඩුවක් තියාගෙන පුළුවන් නොබල් කෙනෙක් තමයි. ඒ වගේ උසස් පැලැන්තියේ කාට හරි.
So,
Duel with Lord Samin.
Are you ready?
අපර දෙන්න මම අරක equip කරගන්නද. මොකද අපිට දුන්නේ? Gnarly's club. ඒක දෙමු. Attached to belt. මේකනේ. හරි. මට සිප්පඩ.
Fucking hell!
මේ ඇත්තටම ගහන්නේ.
What do you say, son?
That was tough. අපි එක දෙමු.
You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
That's true. And you handled this too, sir. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
Carry on Troskowitz with Nagam. හරි අපිට දැන් මොනවද කරන්න තියෙන්නේ? අපි ජර්නල් එක බලමු මොනවද කරන්න තියෙන්නේ කියලා. Carry on to Troskowitz. යන්න තමයි තියෙනවා මං හිතන්නේ. මොනක කණ ගිහිල්ලා මට ඉතින් පස්සෙන් බල්ලෙක් වගේ යන්න තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ඇත්ත කියලා දාමුනේ. ආගනේ ඇත්ත කියන්න හොඳ නැහැ. මොකද මුන්ගේ මට මතක විතර අර කිව්වනේ මේගොල්ලෝ සිග්ස්මන්ගේ පැත්තට සපෝට් කරන්නයි කියලා. අපි කට පියාගෙන බරපෙච්ච නිසා අපේ ඩයලොග් එක නැති වුණා. ඒක හොඳ එකක් දෙන්න. හරි අපි ආවා talk to Gnarly and Lord Samin. Oh.
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
හරි alright කියලා අපි කියමු.
As you wish, sir.
එයාගෙන කියන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. නැත්තම් බේවිලි ෆෙවිලා මෙයාට වද දෙයිලු අරකයි මේකයි ප්‍රශ්න කී. Okay map එක පොඩ්ඩක් බලමු. Talk to the bailiff. bailiff කියන එක නම් මොනවද කතා කරලිමු. bailiff ඉන්න ඇත්තේ මේකේ නේ.
Good day to you and with you.
Oh, the bailiff මෙයා වෙන්න ඕනේ. Has anyone seen that cart? කරත්
Master
එන්නේ.
Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semin on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
Wedding, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know. Wedding again now?
Seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all.
Oh, you can.
Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semin would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semin is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
වෙඩිගෙන ලෝඩ් සිමින් කියන වට්ට නාගයෙක්නේ. ඔය මෙයාගේ දුවක් නේ දුවන දෙනවා කියන්නේ බේලිෆ් නේ. Careful what you say about the state. You're right,
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I don't think Lord Semin would do that. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why is that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
That'll be all. Thanks.
හරි එතන වැඩි නම් ඉවරයි අපි යමු එළියට බලමු ජර්නල් එකේ තව මොනවද තියෙන කරන්න කියලා go back to Lord Semi තව තැන් දෙක තුනක් නම් තියෙනවා මැප් එකේ පෙන්නන්න PI tips ට මම හිතන්නේ side quest වෙන්නේ නැති අපි යමුකෝ Lord Semi ගාවට කොහෙද යකා හිටියේ මේ පල්ලෙහා ජොයින්නේ.
Well then, young man, how did it go?
They drove towards Apollonia. I didn't betray you to the bailiff.
I didn't say a word about you, sir.
There's a good lad. And what about the cart?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yichin? The bastards. And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yichin.
Sir, I can send a message to the Yichin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will.
ආපහු දුවන්න තමයි තියෙන පස්සෙන් බල්ලෙක් වගේ.
So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
ඒක නාකින්ද දැන් ෂුවර් නෑ. ඉතින් මේ හරි ආරක්ෂිතව තියාගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයිද කියලා උතුට. හරි ඉන්වෙස්ටිගේට්. ඔල මැප් එක උත්තර සයිස්ද කියලා. හරි පොඩි ප්‍රදේශයක් තියෙන සර්ච් කරලා බලන්න. කරලා බලමු. කරත්තේ කාට ගිහින් බලමු මොනවද තියෙද කියලා. එතන මොකද්ද තියෙනවනේ? මොකද්ද මේ ගලක්ද?
A sack of charcoal.
charcoal.
That could have fallen off the cart.
උදුන් වලට දාන ගල් ලඟුරු හරි මොන හරි තමයි තියෙන්නේ. අපි ගිහිල්ලා කියමු ඒක නේද? එච්චරනේ. Investigate the area of the crossroads by the cemetery.
Found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is then. Gnarly! Back here!
Okay, Oh, නාකිය
We're
කොහෙද
getting
ගියා?
close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have...
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
හරි ආපහු ඉන්වෙස්ටිගේට් පාරක් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. මැප් එක බලමු කොච්චර තියෙනවද කියලා. මේ හරියද? මේ මොකද්ද මේ? මේ තියෙන කරත්ත පාරවල් මට නිකන් පේන්නේ නිකන් කරත්ත පාරවල් වගේ. අපි තියෙන්නේ explore.
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road. Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
කරත්තේ තියෙන බලු ටික නන්නේ ඔක්කොම ටික පන්නගෙන ගිහිල්ලා මම හිතන්නේ.
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
And someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. They'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you, they got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage around here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. Still can't be sure of anything.
මෙන්න ගල්ගුහා.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my legs stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why is that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you
hina වෙන සද්දයක් නම් එනවා කොහේ හරි.
She had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins and white ladies. Every night we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows and the whirring of the spinning wheel. Oh, shh. Wait a minute. Can you hear that?
I do. There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer.
I was ordained you.
කවුරුරි මහා ශබ්දයේ කෑ ගහන අපි හිමින් සැරේ ලං වෙලා බලමු.
What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slattergo used to come make a fire here and jump over it, and so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
යමු එහෙනම්. අර ගැටුණානේ.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
Just go scouting. ඕ පාත්තල හිමිසරේ යන්නෝ.
For a wench, he's got a miserable pair of tits on him.
Those definitely aren't the blacksmith's hands.
You don't say. You really say.
පල්ලයට ගිහලා අපෝ අරගලන්න කියන්නලු.
I'm not kidding.
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Of course.
Sure am, sir.
Just watch and don't get your ass kicked like during training. So, how are we gonna do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
We ought to pounce on them while we have the moment of surprise.
The words of a real man. So get ready, and we'll go for them. Nice and quick before the bastards realize what's going on.
ෂණික ගෙසිල්ලක් ගහන්න යන්නේ. ඕ මට මොකක්ද තියෙන්නේ? මේ මේක හරියන්නේ නැහැ. මට උන්ට ගහන්න මට ඕන හන්ටි ස්වෝඩ් එක. හරි.
And he definitely weren't hexed. How would... Now you're going to get... He's at it. Nice strike.
නියමයි. තව පොඩ්ඩෙන් ආහුට ආවා බැන්ඩේජ් වෙනවා. අපි බැන්ඩේජ් එකක් දාගෙන නැත්තම් ආව ලේ ගිහිල්ලාම මැරේ. කොහොමද අපි ඒක හොයාගන්නේ? ෆූඩ්ස්, ආමර්, materials අද සොර තියෙන බැන්ඩේජ්. හරි. හරි තව දාමු. හරි.
What's the hold up, damn it?
අපි ග්නාලයට කතා කරමු.
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here. And none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
I never met them. We can ask them.
Well, we can't ask them now.
Oh, well.
We can't ask them.
That's how it goes sometimes.
But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's go.
I am. Let's go.
I thought we had everything clear, Venser. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker.
What the fuck?
So now...
We are Thomas Kinekani, the Captain Thomas.
Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time with the Johnny, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours.
හිටිය කැප්ටන් තෝමස් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න බෑ හැබැයි ටිකක් ඒ වගේ පෙනුම තිබ්බේ ඌ වෙන්න බෑ.
Gentlemen, I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. As long as you ask nicely, eh?
නෑ.
Well, how about we do things
Captain Thomas කෙනෙක් නෙමෙයි.
You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
හරිනේ. මගේ හෙල්ත් එක තිබුණේ නැද්ද කොහෙද පොඩ්ඩයි තිබ්බේ. උඩානේ තිබ්බේ.
At them, horse and hammer them, men! We'll kick your asses!
Thank you.
Yemai.
You caught him out.
Oh, you're right. Shit. හරි අපි ආයුධය මෙන්න මේක අරගමු. අපිට මෙයා ග්‍රනාඩි කෙනෙක් කියලා දුන්නේ.
Get ready. We'll finish this quickly. Don't spare it. Kick your asses. Slice him up.
හරි එක්කෙනෙක් හරි හරි ඒ නයිට් වගේ එක්කෙනාවත් ඉවර කළා. අනේ
Help me with that. Beat you to a bloody pulp. Is that the best you can do?
මූණ
They
යටත්
got what
වුණානේ.
they deserve, the fuckers. Henry, hey, Henry, are you
Oh.
listening?
කියපන්.
Come here.
හරි අපි ඩිස්කස්
What
කරමු.
now? One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
Which way did he go? මොන පැත්තටද ගියේ කියලා
Did
අහමු.
you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my hands. Besides, you're the one who's supposed to keep watch.
He was a prisoner. What good will he do us? Come on, I'm good. Kezuna
I'll
pigilo
go and track
hawini.
him then. Great, hurry.
You're poor. You can't just lynch me.
Hari, baru මොන පැත්තෙන්ද ගියේ කියලා? මේ පැත්තටනේ.
The law?
අපි යමු එහෙනම්. මේ හරි තමයි ඇත්තේ. කොහෙද ඩෑල්ලා ඉන්නේ? මෙයිනි.
Everything!
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
අපි මේක පාවිච්චි කරමු. You know match for me here.
One-on-one, yeah. But it must be clear to you that you're no match for me. Even if the noose is waiting for you, it's still a more pleasant death than getting your head smashed in with a rock. And believe me, I'll do it if there's no other way.
Fuck! Alright, I'll come with you. But you'll put a word in for me.
I might. As long as you don't try anything.
Promise me.
I won't promise you anything. Now come on. I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end. Gnarly will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Samin. Want to ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with his hands.
I could use right a bit.
What's going to happen with that pair?
You mean Radovan's hands? We'll see. The one that ran for it, it's clear with him. The other fellow was tied up, so who knows what went down. Maybe he was innocent. Gnarly'll have a word with him, and we'll see what he tells us.
Sir, Venser surrendered because I promised to put in a good word for him.
Well, it's nice that you promised him, but I'm the one who'll decide on the fate of that scum, and it's quite clear to me.
All right.
Right
would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
fast travel speed one.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Venser's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the car to Gills.
It weren't like that at all. We shook on it. But on the way, you had the idea we'd keep it.
What? That ain't true.
Leave it out, you two. One way or another, you wanted to fuck me over. Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහමු.
You wanted to steal the cart for yourselves, but you still got caught.
I didn't want to steal anything. That was Venser.
It was your idea. What the fuck are you talking about, blaming Benson?
You really are prize idiots. If you hadn't gone round the rocks, you could easily have got away. But I've got a big heart, so I sent the lads to give you a hand.
I told Francie it wasn't a good idea to nick it.
Bollocks. As soon as you saw the lads, you gave the horses the whip. You were holding the reins, Spencer.
You see?
While you were shouting rude insults. So you're both in it up to your necks, as far as I'm concerned.
Where are you taking us?
To Sameen, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realise you can't just execute me.
It depends. By rights, I should send a plea to some court to decide if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. Parchment's dear, and ink ain't free either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily risk it and knock your head off without permission.
I see how the law is respected here.
Ha! Are you yanking my pizzle? You're a fine one to talk about law.
And what will happen to us?
උන්ට මොනවද වෙන්නේ කියලා අපි දන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් අපි බය කරමුනේ මේගොල්ලෝ මැරෙයි කියලා. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ කිව්නේ.
If Lord Seming's in a good mood, he'll try to find out whose idea it was.
It definitely wasn't mine.
You're such a rat, Francie.
On the other hand, when I hear you lot going on and on, I reckon he might not give a damn.
I'm innocent. I swear on my ma's soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Pah! Every man she could, I dragged to the gallows, swore on his mother. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was as pure as a driven snow. But this bastard doesn't think twice about his soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
That's right. You always were a piece of shit, Francie. No scruples.
Well, ain't it grand to have you here to explain everything? Now shut your gobs, the three of you. Don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout. Right, we're in Troskowitz. This is where you get off, Henry.
Thanks a lot, Captain.
Don't forget to go and tell Radovan what happened, so he can stop worrying.
Will do.
And drop by Sameen sometime. You may be wet behind the ears still, but you're a laugh to have around.
අපි තැන් කියන මෙතනින් බලමුනේ.
You're not bad yourself for an old fart.
You're not too old to get spanked, lad.
හරි එහෙනම් අපි යමු අපේ බ්ලැක්ස්මිත් ගාවට ආපහු. කොහෙද IT? ඕ මෙහෙ නෙමෙයිද? හරි මේන් අපි මෙහෙට යන්න ඕන. අපි ෆාස්ට් ට්‍රැවල් කරමු මෙතනට.
That's a fine maypole.
මොකද්ද? හරි ඒවා දාන්නේ අපි යමු බ්ලැක්ස්මිත් ගාවට ගිහලා කියමු සීන් එක. The cart has been found. කරත්තේ හම්බුණා කියලා කියන්නේ.
Job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Seming's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realised they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Seming, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Seming, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down. The whole band.
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the carts and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semine took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I'd know what to do with them.
Don't worry. I don't think Lord Semine will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semine's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truscovitz. What do you think of her?
I
haven't seen Agnes. Is she pretty?
Pretty doesn't do her justice. She's a beauty. But she's got such a sharp tongue on her that I don't envy older at all. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
තෙරසා ඉන්නවනේ මාව බලාගෙන මං එන කන්නේද? අපි කිමු තෙරසා ඉන්නවා කියලා පවුන් නැත්තම් කියලා.
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from the mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble born. Old Semine wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
We don't have any good steel. Do you want me to steal the sword?
You don't want me to steal that sword, do you?
God's nails. Don't annoy me, youngster. This is a serious matter. A good blade must be flexible, but not brittle. The best blades are made from welded steel.
Where will we get the steel?
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
What strange goings on?
With
the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
What strange goings on? Where can I find the hermit? Right, I'll try to find the sword. අපි මේක දෙමු. ඒතර අපිට කඩුව විතරයි හොයන්න තියෙන්නේ. අනිත් ඒවා කරන්න ගියට පස්සේ තවත් දික් වෙනවා මෙතන වැඩි. අපි බලමු තුනම කරනවත් කියලා what strange goings on. මොනවාගේ අద్భుත සිදුවීම් වෙන්නේ කියලා.
What strange goings on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition. But that's all I know.
Where can I find the hermit? Hermit කියන්නේ මට මතක නැහැ hermit කියන්නේ කවුද කියලා. නිකන් තාපසතුමෙක්ද? ඔය වගේ දෙයක් තමයි.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia. But you'll have to ask the Truscovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Semin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Troskovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation.
හරි මම පටන් සයිඩ් ක්වෙස්ට් එක the Jaunt කියන එක ඉවරයි. දැන් අලුත් එකක් පටන් ගත්තා the hermit කියලා. ඉතින් මේ ක්වෙස්ට් එක මම මෙතනින් ඉවර කරනවා. මොකද මම මේ ජර්නල් එකට ගිහිල්ලා බැලුවොත් එහෙම අපිට මෙතනින් තිබ්බේ wedding crashes කියන එක යටතේ තමයි මේ කලින් තිබ්බ the Jaunt කියන එක තිබ්බේ. දැන් ඒක යටතේම the hermit කියන එක තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මම හිතුවා wedding crashes කියන නතු මේ ටයිටල් එකට the Jaunt කියලා දාලා තියන්න. එතකොට ලේසි. හැබැයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඒක තියෙන්නේ wedding crashes කියන එක ඇතුළේ හිලා මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. හරි. එහෙනම් මම දැන් මේ එපිසෝඩ් එක මෙතන ඉවර කරනවා. අපි ඊළඟට the hermit එකෙන් පටන් ගමු. ඒ වගේම අපිට බලු පැටිය මට්ටෝ හොයන්න යන්නත් තියෙනවා. ඒකත් වෙනම සයිඩ් ක්වෙස්ට් එකක් විදිහට වෙනම එපිසෝඩ් එකක් කරමු. එන හැමෝටම guys good luck.